A dedicated and outstanding employee at a bank, Genko was framed by the bank president as a scapegoat for an illegal scheme involving a connected individual. None of them could have foreseen that this incident would trigger her complete transformation. The next day, she exploited her position to siphon 180 million yen from the bank's fake accounts and withdrew the entire enormous sum as quickly as possible. By the time the president and his associates noticed, Genko was lying comfortably on a bed covered with the 180 million yen. The deputy president assumed she was retaliating against the bank's decision to terminate her contract as a temporary worker. The president was even more stunned that someone would embezzle 180 million yen over such a trivial matter. What Genko had taken, however, was solely money from the bank's fraudulent accounts, funds that existed illegally in the first place. The executives dared not call the police or report the incident to the head office. An investigation by the tax authorities would expose the bank's tax evasion scheme for its major clients, and losing their jobs would be the mildest consequence they faced. No amount of cover-ups or false reports could hide such a massive funding shortfall at a single branch. They had no choice but to call Genko to negotiate, yet they did not plead humbly. Instead, they lashed out with harsh questions, intimidation, and threats. Genko paid no mind to their futile rage. She was certain they would have to compromise. She made it clear she would not return the money and demanded they use the funds to purchase an item she possessed. The next day, the deputy president was utterly stunned by Genko's drastically transformed demeanor when they met again. She was no longer the timid, easily bullied clerk he had known.
君は一体
単なる派遣社員です。昨日まで。
Genko pulled out a black notebook and recited the deposit details of every fake account one by one. She had recorded all the critical information of those fraudulent accounts in the notebook. The deputy president froze on the spot in terror. Genko remarked with a hint of mockery that her status as a temporary worker had made them trust her with all kinds of menial and confidential tasks, granting her access to all the evidence.
君がやったことは業務上決まっていることは恐喝。
じゃあ警察に訴えてください。本店にも報告しました。
She laughed at the deputy president, who could not bring himself to look her in the eye. She told him that exposing the bank's illegal actions and all the fake accounts at the branch would deal a devastating blow to the reputation of the major clients and the head office's credit system. The two executives would also face severe retaliation, ruining their careers and lives entirely. Noticing the deputy president was at a loss for words, Genko stated that she would keep the secret and disappear from their lives permanently if the bank used the 180 million yen to buy the notebook and followed her instructions. When threats failed, the deputy president tried to appeal to her emotions. He claimed that even if they agreed to her terms, the head office would eventually find out, turning her into a criminal and bringing shame and disgrace upon her family and relatives. He then arrogantly offered a deal. If she returned the money, he would make her a permanent employee at the bank until retirement, with a total salary of around 200 million yen. Genko smiled and said she had indeed envied permanent staff members and would visit the branch the next day. The deputy president believed he had persuaded her and returned triumphantly to report to the president. He had no idea this was merely Genko's delaying tactic. The moment